Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ok Xoomer. I'm your host, Aaron Lichtig, Xometry guy and former Jeopardy champion, and I'm here today with Dana McCallum of Carbon. Welcome, Dana.
Hi, Aaron. Thanks, everyone.
Dana is an award-winning manufacturing marketer, and she currently leads Carbon's market development and partnership sales team globally. And she's also on the board of AMUG and currently also on the board of Women in 3D Printing. So Dana, it's great to have you here. As an opener, can you tell us about Carbon and how the company came to be?
Yeah, absolutely. Carbon's a fantastic company, and it actually originated in North Carolina on UNC's campus with our founder, Joe DeSimone, and our co-founder, Phil DeSimone, and a few others. And that was in 2013. And we were in stealth mode for a few years, developing the technology itself and some of our resins. And then we launched our company in 2015.
Excellent. Now, how did you personally come to work at Carbon?
Great question. So prior to Carbon, I was at an injection molder and 3D printing service bureau in Cleveland, Ohio. And I was on the board of AMUG. So got to know various companies within the industry, and got to know Phil DeSimone through a good friend, Jason Lopes. And decided to take on a career within Carbon. I was their first sales hire. So back in 2015, right when we launched the company, and my husband and I moved out west and started my career at Carbon. And really, I fell in love with manufacturing when I started my career about 11 years ago at the injection molder and 3D printing service bureau. And understanding Carbon's technology and the potential of really moving from prototyping into production, and similar to what I saw within injection molding, I wanted to follow that passion and continue to help grow not only Carbon, but our customers, and with finding applications and being successful with Carbon's technology. So that's been my primary role here at Carbon, whether that's within injection molders and service bureaus, urethane casting shops, or now I'm getting more involved on the enterprise side, working with companies like Beck & Dickinson or Ford, etc.
You mentioned Carbon's technology, and you really are at your core a high-tech company. What are some of the best applications of that technology that you've seen?
Yeah, great question, Aaron. We have so many applications, and obviously the world knows about the Adidas midsole, which I have here.
It is.
We really accelerated in the elastomer space and creating these the midsoles in particular, and that application has taken off. And there's a healthy team at Carbon and within Adidas that have helped us get there.
Gotcha. Outside of the Adidas project, what are some of the other really cool projects you've worked on in your time at Carbon?
Yeah, I know everyone knows about Adidas. I wanted to talk about another project that I worked on with one of our production partners, the Technology House, who's located outside of Cleveland. We worked together with Vitamix, who's a high-end blender company, also located in Cleveland, and we helped them with a rinse nozzle application. And that rinse nozzle was once molded in multiple parts and then assembled together. And we at Carbon and the Technology House worked together to redesign it into one single part. So no longer are they molding that part, they're printing it directly on Carbon's technology.
Excellent. Are there any other projects that stood out to you?
Gosh, that one's my favorite. There's so many. As we're looking into the medical device space, Beck & Dickinson is working on a great application. Again, I can't go into detail about it, but moving from that low volume injection molding into Carbon's technology. Within medical device, within connector space, we've had a lot of successes with Active where they were printing connectors directly now rather than molding. And then dental is a big industry for us, as well as the consumer space. Rydell is a recently announced project that our internal team has worked on. A lot of work went behind that, where we're now printing the internal foam pieces that were once foam. Now it's made with carbon's elastomer material.
Excellent. Now, looking out over the next year or two, what are some of the things we might expect to see from carbon?
Good question. Well, I'm really, really excited about the launch of our L1 printer. So when I first started at Carbon, we started with an M1 printer, and then a year later we launched our M2 printer, so a little bit larger in build size, and now we've gone even larger with our L1 machine. It's about 4.5 times the build size of our M2. So I'm excited to get that out into our customer base, and we're able to address, of course, more throughput with the L1, as well as larger applications that we simply couldn't look at with a smaller build size. So that's going to continue to develop, which again, I'm excited about, as well as more materials. We're starting to work with third-party resin suppliers, and we have a clear material that's up and coming. And then there are other materials that we're working on that I know will help us identify additional applications that we can produce.
Excellent. Now, you're also on the board of Women in 3D Printing. Can you tell us more about your work with that organization?
Gosh, what a phenomenal organization. Nora Torre has done a great job. She's our founder of Women in 3D Printing. And there are several other key women on the board who are really taking it to the next level. It's an organization where we're pulling together women across the world that maybe we've never met in person, but we want to make sure that they're highlighted and they're making a difference within our industry. And we have an upcoming first conference with Women in 3D Printing called TYPE. It's in end of January, and it's the first all-female speaking conference. It's going to be virtual, obviously, due to the circumstances that we're all going through, but we're really excited about that. And we're continuing, Nora's leading us, and again, we have many more helpers that's continuing to grow our chapter base throughout the world, and basically pulling together women who are really making an impact in our industry.
That's great. Everybody should check out TYPE. And yeah, Nora has been a guest on Ok Xoomer as well.
Fantastic.
Excited to interview her too. All right. Well, Dana, thank you so much for joining today. It was great to have you on the show.
Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate you having me here.
All right. That's another episode of Ok Xoomer. Check back in another couple days and we'll have another one for you. Thanks, everyone. Take care.